I'm here in Dallas, Texas, at the Tesla service headquarters. That's right, looking for libtards that don't like Elon Musk. Well, just wait. We're about to run up on some, and I'll show you what libtards look in the wild that don't like Elon Musk.
As you can see, he's gonna make America great again with baby pass.
Are you guys being paid to protest?
No,
Do you think Elon Musk is helping the environment with his electrical vehicles?
I can't answer that.
So you don't think he's good for the environment?
Look, man, I can't answer it.
Come on, you guys are being paid to protest. Are you getting any money? Where'd you get this, on Craigslist? Why don't you guys like Elon Musk? What's he doing? He's helping the environment by creating electric vehicles. You don't think that's
All
good?
electric vehicles are great.
So why don't you like him then?
Who?
Elon.
Elon, because what he's doing to our government.
He's accessing sensitive information.
Yeah, but
That's
he's
worse
trying to.
than-
You guys don't like that he's getting rid of government waste? You don't like that?
Yeah, why is he doing that?
Hey, so are you guys being paid? Are you guys being paid to be here today?
Insurance money, yeah.
So you guys are? You do admit you're getting paid?
Yeah, it's good, buddy.
It's hard to tell with these people. See, this is what a libtard. These are what libtards look like in the wild. You can't even tell. See, this person's trans. You can't tell if they're a boy or a girl. You can't tell if any of them are boys or girls. Their sexual identity is ambiguous. It's hard to tell. What do you hear protesting?
We're here protesting Elon Musk. So the reason why we're protesting Elon Musk, well, everybody has different reasons. The main reason I'm protesting Elon Musk is because of his nonchalant use of Nazi symbolism. He went on the inauguration.
He's a Nazi?
Well, I mean, if you don't want me to think you're not a Nazi, then I mean, I feel like you just kind of have to stop using the symbolism.
You don't think what he's doing for the environment?
What is he doing for the environment exactly?
With his electric vehicles?
Okay. I mean, electric vehicles are better for the environment than gas-powered vehicles. This is
Boom!
definitely true.
Roasted. Okay, so we agree on that. We agree on that. Look, he's got the Trump baby.
Innocent people.
Innocent people are dying by their policies by bringing drugs over, so we have to stop that. Yeah, a few okay people get sent back. I'm sorry, tough luck. Come here again, marry somebody.
It's the absolute
90 Day Fiancé.
He married
Go
somebody.
online.
He has an American wife. He has
didn't
American
do it right.
children.
Then
He's an
then he
American
didn't do it
father.
right, because
He
you
is
know
the
that
father.
if you marry
He is the
somebody,
father of
you make it a
Americans.
green card, so he doesn't know how to do paperwork then. He doesn't know how to do paperwork. That's obviously what it is.
Okay, so that's his fault. So because
Yeah, that's his fault. He doesn't know how to do paperwork. There are rules in paperwork that we have to fill out sometimes. I hate to break it to you, bud. These are lunatic. These
he
people
was
are.
talking.
T4 tyranny! T4 tyranny!
This has got to be the weakest protest.
T4 tyranny!
It's just embarrassing. This is what a libtard looks like in the wild. It's oftentimes a small Hispanic woman, a weird Hispanic man, oftentimes. An elderly fellow, always an elderly fellow hiding his face. He even likes Elon Musk. I believe this man drives a Tesla. Let me see your keys. He doesn't have keys, he drives a Tesla. That's why I know that he drives a Tesla. He won't show his keys.
Elon Musk cut USDA program.
Good.
Why?
Good, because we don't need transgender studies in Afghanistan. This is my favorite libtard right here. What do you do, sir?
You don't know what you're doing, do you?
What?
You don't know what you're doing.
No, I know exactly what I'm doing.
No, you
I'm on the prowl for libtards. And I found one. I found a very pretty libtard.
That's childish of you to talk like that.
Why?
Calling names is
How is that a name? You're a libtard. It's not a name. It is who you are.
You're a Trumpling.
I like dumplings. And I like Trump. I like that.
You like Trumplings? You like being
I'll eat some dumplings.
Are you getting close enough to kiss me?
Sorry. Would you like that? Would you like that? Are we having a moment? At the Elon protest? You're not actually a homosexual, I hope, are you?
What difference does it make?
Oh,
to you?
God, you are? Oh, I don't want to catch it. I don't want to catch it, dude. You're not actually gay, right? Please don't tell me you're gay. Please don't tell me you're gay. Please don't tell me you want to kiss me and you're gay. Please don't tell me that. Is that what's going on right now? Are you a gay man that wants to kiss me?
You're not a crowd enough here.
This is I'm not trying to crowd you, gay man. Look at this gay man. They're gay libtards. This is a gay libtard, a nice one. Some of them are feisty. This one seems to be nice.
Tyranny!
Say I'm a gay man and I hate Donald Trump.
You're a gay man and you hate Donald Trump?
This is what I say. Do you not like gay men?
You do not like gay men?
I like her. Just say I'm a gay man and I hate Donald Trump.
You're a gay man and you hate Trump?
Yes, and I'm transgender.
You're what?
I was born a woman.
You were born a woman?
I'm transgender.
He's transgender.
What are you doing here? You're getting paid to be here. You're too
No,
rich.
I'm not getting paid to be
Are
here.
you getting paid to be here? I know they found you on Craigslist.
January 6th, people get paid to go over there or what?
Some of them might have.
Was that the page report
But they
or
got
what?
pardoned. They
That's
got
the page
pardoned.
report, January
They
6th,
got
the page
pardoned. So
report.
this guy's guilty. You are getting paid. Aren't you?
Yeah,
Look at that. So look, he got all the visit.
Hypocrite.
Look at this. He's still wearing a mask because he's scared to show his identity. He doesn't want to lose his job at T-Mobile.
What do we
He
want?
works at T-Mobile.
What are we getting?
Libtarded.
Being out here in the street.
What do we want?
Yeah, this is your job too. You're out here in the streets too. I
It's
mean,
my job to share my voice. And
yeah,
be
it's your
out here
job.
with
It makes he's
everyone
getting
here.
paid. They
It's
all
our
admit
job.
you're literally getting
It's our
paid.
duty
You're
as a
literally getting
citizen.
paid.
You like me the best time.
You're the nicest. He's all mean and aggressive as hell. He's big. Looks like a rhinoceros over there. I think he's gonna freaking buck up or something. Everybody wants to get mad.
I think he's worried about human rights.
No, he's worried about illegal immigration, probably. Why is there a Mexican flag at the Elon protest? He's an immigrant. Who's getting paid? She's getting paid. Are you getting
What do we
paid?
want?
Look at these libtards. These are Latina libtards. Big booty Latina
What do we
libtards.
want?
These are my favorite libtards.
Why are your brains so small? Your hat's so big.
Girl, look at that wig. Don't
That's
even.
a
That's a
wig.
wig.
That wig.
Yeah. I don't even with that wig.
Drain the swamp. Let's put Trump's kids in there, right?
No, what about Hunter Biden? You don't think Hunter Biden, did you sell crack to Hunter Biden? This guy, he sells crack to Hunter Biden. These libtards, they're pathetic. Some of them are nice, some of them are ill. But these are what libtards that are getting paid to be here look like. Libtards, you libtards!
I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. I'll break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we got a great show for you this evening. We got ancient historian, the one, the only Jimmy Corsetti on to break down everything that you need to know about the pyramids. We also have a little short snippet, I mean, it's not that short, of our interview with Howling Mutant, but things got a little spicy. Too spicy for YouTube. You know how Primetime likes to do it. You know how Howling Mutant likes to do it. Well, whether you know him or not is irrelevant because you're going to meet him tonight when you watch this clip. But if you want to see the whole entire uncensored interview, you're going to have to go to blazetv.com/primetime and pay 99 cents to watch that behind the paywall because things are way too spicy for this platform. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. So I want to say what you guys just saw, we were just, basically getting, love. That was a clip of love. Those damn protesters loved me. One of those gay guys in there wanted to kiss me. And then even everybody there was just a gay and trans. And this is the thing, and this is a serious thing. I like it when the protests are like this and not very dangerous, for lack of a better word. But it's not as good as the content may not be as thrilling or edge of your seat or unpredictable, but I like going to these type of protests too because I feel like what was done at this one, it was so easy to expose the fact that they were paid to be there because at the same exact time there's a huge protest happening at City Hall, and so this protest was originally scheduled, I guess, before the big protest at City Hall was scheduled. And still people showed up because that was their assignment. So they didn't get taken off that assignment to cancel that protest because it had already been, the plans had already been set in motion. So I believe it just exposes that there is a network of NGOs or political action committees that are funding these protests in order to just create as much division or create chaos in the street and make people not like Donald Trump and make people kind of misled on how much power Elon Musk even has or what Elon Musk is even doing. And I'm not saying Elon Musk is not perfect. He was not an elected official. I think we should be able to criticize Elon Musk. Obviously, I agree with the right to protest. But, it's been, not even 100 days in office. So let's just kind of pump the brakes, see what happens. We've had billionaires like George Soros and Bill Gates running the Democratic Party for the past 20 years. Let's just see what happens with this billionaire. Do I love everything that he's doing? No. That he wants to hook a computer to your brain so you can damn park your Tesla? Now, I don't love that very much, but the idea that there's soldiers to get their arms blown off and now they can use an artificial limb because of this technology, I do like that. So, you know, there's goods and bads with everything that Elon Musk is doing, like, you know, all the SpaceX stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's great, but think about the billions of starving people in the world. You know, you're spending billions of dollars to send rockets to space, which is great. You know, we need to know more about space, but there are hungry people here. It's like, you know, if these billionaires actually wanted to solve the world hunger problem, they could solve it, but they don't want to solve it. They'd rather go to space. So listen, I'm not here to talk about going to space or billionaires, but what I am here to talk to you about is a great company like this one. You guys know PureHealth. We love PureHealth, but let's be honest, we're not getting any younger. And if you want to look and feel your best, you need to check out PureHealth Research. They have 45 premium health supplements designed to help with every health goal. Whether it's boosting your energy, trimming belly fat, supporting healthy blood sugar, pumping your testosterone up, or even reducing swelling in your legs, PureHealth Research Supplement Store has you covered. Each formula is crafted with natural, non-GMO ingredients backed by clinical research and manufactured right here in the United States of America. And here's the best part. PureHealth Research is offering you an exclusive 35% discount. Just go to purehealthresearch.com and use the coupon code ALEX at checkout. With their 365-day money-back guarantee, there's zero risk in trying something new. So why wait? Head over to purehealthresearch.com and explore their 45 amazing supplements and save 35% before this deal ends with the coupon code ALEX at checkout. Don't miss this chance to start the year feeling your best. purehealthresearch.com. All right, folks, if you're not feeling good, go check out our sponsor. Now, this guy is probably going to make you feel even weirder because Jimmy Corsetti, you've seen him on Joe Rogan, you've seen him on Piers Morgan, you've seen him everywhere. He's probably the number one, well, people would debate if he's the number one expert when it comes to this, but in my opinion, he's my number one expert. He's a guy that is an ancient historian. He's taught me a lot about Göbekli Tepe, you know, the oldest temple in the world. He even says potentially, possibly, speculatively, it could be Noah's first temple. So I don't know. We talk about a lot of interesting stuff. So we're about to sit down with my guy, the one, the only, Jimmy Corsetti. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. Guys, we have such a great guest. He's a legendary researcher. He's also a veteran. You've seen his YouTube channel, Bright Insight. You know him, you love him. You've seen him on Joe's show, the one, the only Joe Rogan. Let's bring on Jimmy Corsetti. Jimmy, how are you doing, my friend?
What up, brother? Dude, it is so good to connect with you. I've been following you for years. You are a legend. With your videos going to all these town hall meetings, especially with all the crazy crap going on in the last few years, you've been an inspiration of mine, believe it or not. And I'm thrilled to chat with you today, man.
Wow, that really makes me feel good. I'm not just saying that. I'm just so upset, Jimmy. I kind of came in here flustered. I was just at LSU, my alma mater, and I used a camera from the Blaze, and long story short, the camera they gave me was broken. It was corrupted. So I had a debate with 300 college students, and the cops had to shut it down. And we have some other angles, but the main angle of it, all the footage is corrupted. So I'm about sick to my stomach. But other than that, I'm excited to have you because, Jimmy, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. I feel like they're lying about so much stuff. But what you research is so brilliant and so great is all of these ancient relics, these ancient cultures. And for me, I feel like they're lying about so much stuff. And the biggest thing you just posted about Göbekli Tepe. Yeah. Now, this is in Turkey. Can you explain to somebody that doesn't have any idea what Göbekli Tepe is and why it's so important, the age of Göbekli Tepe?
You bet. So Göbekli Tepe is a site in Turkey that is dated to 11,600 years ago, and it completely upended our known narrative, or our supposedly known narrative of ancient history, as this site is almost 7,000 years older than Stonehenge, which Stonehenge is already a mystery in itself. Like, that site was created before the invention of the wheel, or the alleged invention of the wheel. And the thing is about Göbekli Tepe is that what we were all taught in school is that the Sumerians of ancient Iraq and Mesopotamia was the so-called birthplace of civilization approximately 6,000 years ago. So here we have Göbekli Tepe, which is a site made up of approximately 200 pillars. It's sophisticated. The most recent scientific study on it is that it is the world's first lunar solar calendar, which involves all kinds of intense mathematics, things that go far beyond what we were taught in school for the alleged capabilities of ancient history. And essentially, there's been tons of controversies about it. The site is only somewhere between 5 and 10% excavated over the last 30 years. There's been all kinds of controversies involving the planting of trees on top of ancient ruins, which goes into what was breaking today. For example, trees, the roots grow and destroy ruins beneath them. And bizarrely, 1,000 trees were planted on top of the site 10 years after excavations had begun. And just found out today that apparently, because of the putting on blast like I've done over the last year involving the issues at the site, the pushback within Turkey has been immense. I guess Turkish citizens have been, there's been a whole uproar about the lacking of excavations there. And then once I put it on blast that these trees were literally planted on top of ancient ruins, the backlash from the Turkish citizens has been so intense that the authorities have finally jumped in and has started, as of today, the removal of these 1,000 trees. So it's pretty surreal to be a YouTuber like myself and have created some actual, progress in this field. It's pretty surreal.
You've saved some of the most ancient relics in the world, 11,000 years old. I mean, it doesn't get older than that. But Jimmy, why I think they're lying is I live in Dallas, and right outside of Dallas, there's a city called Rockwall. And the reason why it was named Rockwall is that people were just digging one day on their ranch or their farm, and all of a sudden there's a huge wall, like a formed, patterned. I mean, this is not an accidental wall. And we still have no idea in Rockwall why there's a wall under the ground. So, and the other lie, they act like the people before us were just cavemen, we're just idiots. The people before us, I believe that we're getting dumber. I believe they were smarter. So why are they hiding the truth? And were civilizations before us, they had to obviously be smarter, Jimmy, or am I naive in thinking that?
No, I think you're spot on. So here's what, if I had a thesis for what I share, is that the true history of ancient human civilizations was far older and far more advanced than we were taught in school. Now, how old and how advanced, that's the debatable part. But what a lot of people don't know, however, the growth in this niche topic is quickly growing around the world, is that there are certain enigmas around the world involving ancient civilizations that just defy anything we would have thought is possible. For example, with the Great Pyramid of Egypt, we still don't know how they constructed it. We have no idea how they hauled stones weighing as much as 80 tons from the Aswan quarry 500 miles away and then lifted and stacked them some 300 feet above the ground. There's other sites in Baalbek with the trilithon stones that are 900 tons apiece that were moved a half mile and then lifted and stacked 30 feet above the ground. And let me just, to let the audience know, that the largest stone moved in modern times is 340 tons. It was moved 106 miles to the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. And what I'm trying to say here is that the ancients moved stones that were literally 3 times as heavy. In fact, the Egyptians moved the 1,000-ton Ramesseum statue 170 miles. It is completely inexplicable. So to go back to your point, which is that how did they do this with alleged primitive methods? There's no known Egyptian barge that could have ferried even a fraction of that weight. And the academics claim that, things were moved with primitive methods, which has since been debunked, such as rolling them on tree logs and other nonsense. So basically what I'm trying to tell you here is that any grown adult that revisits the topic of ancient history quickly sees that there is a complete missing chapter of ancient history, such as what Graham Hancock has long said, that there is strong evidence that humans were doing things that were just mind-blowing thousands of years ago, and something happened on Earth to get us to forget this.
Yes, it's like, I think, does everybody, even scientific people and conspiracy theorists, do they all agree that there was a flood? I think we've all agreed on that, right, Jimmy? Or is that still debated that there was once a great flood at some point?
So this is an interesting thing. So just so people know, there's 500 legends across 5 continents around the world discussing that there was a flood that wiped out humanity. Now, scientists and academics will say, no, this is not possible, and they'll go on to say that it's physically impossible for the Himalayas or the Peruvian Andes to have been covered with water. But here's what we do know scientifically, is that there was something called the Younger Dryas Climate Catastrophe that existed between 12,800 years ago and 11,600 years ago. And in that time, there was a sudden and rapid rise in global sea levels of approximately 420 feet. And now scientists will debate on how quickly or how long or it took for that to happen. But the reality is that when we consider that almost half of humanity lives on or near a coastline today, and that they believe that that percentage would have been even higher in ancient times because of the abundance in resources and ability to travel up and down the coasts, that if there was a sudden rise in sea levels of hundreds of feet in a short period of time, that would have been apocalyptic. That would have literally reset countless civilizations that would have been wiped out. I mean, to put this in perspective, we all remember the terrible Indonesian or Filipino tsunami that happened in 2004, killed 300,000 people. That was 30 feet. Just 30 feet. So imagine if there was something hundreds of feet. It would have been game over. So the reality is that, yes, there is scientific evidence that corroborates a flood. The only thing that's debated is that the academics will say, well, it wasn't that extreme. It didn't cover the entire planet. And I'm here to tell you, it didn't have to cover the entire planet in order for it to create legends across all the continents saying that, hey, something incredibly bad happened to our ancestors that caused it to be wiped out.
And it's so crazy because the way that they use science and climate change and this and that. And, I don't believe a lot of the scientists, yes, I guess you would say. But when it comes to our history, if you earlier, though, you talked about that rock that it's at the Los Angeles Museum of Modern Art. And it took a whole crane to move that rock. So do you get so crazy, Jimmy? And I don't know if I've heard you talk about this, but I see a lot of the Bible people talk about it, the people that are really into it, that the Nephilim, that at one point giants built the pyramids. Is that ludicrous, or because they say Noah was really tall, or is there some credence to that, or is that just, in your opinion, a fairy tale?
So it's interesting. Yeah, the legends of giants also span across multiple continents around the world, which is really bizarre. It's a really interesting thing to just make up out of thin air as a bedtime story, because that's what the scientists will say. Of course, there was no giants. Some people before me have suggested that perhaps they weren't referring to giants of body, but giants of mind. That they were basically saying that there was advanced people on Earth that were able to accomplish those feats. Now, you mentioned the Nephilim, and I look at when you look at the Neanderthal and Denisovans, they had cranial capacities that were significantly larger than ours. And of course, if you go to any textbook or any museum, they'll make them out to be dumb cavemen. But what's to say that there weren't people that were giants in some capability to have constructed these things thousands of years ago? There's also conjecture that the Smithsonian is hiding literal giant bodies and skeletons in their basements. I have no proof of that. I have no, you know what I mean? President Trump should release and open up the Smithsonian archives. There are at least 6 Smithsonian archives in every museum that they have across the United States. And many of the things in there have been boxed up for literally over 100 years. Nobody has access to them other than people within their little clique. So the reality is that there were people doing advanced things on this earth long before we were led to believe or taught in the textbooks.
So it's literally like Indiana Jones. They find the Ark of the Covenant and they just put it in a crappy box and just put it in the back of the Smithsonian. No, I'm gonna actually tell that to Laura Trump. Luckily, she's very nice to me. I'm gonna say, listen, we need to go and get Jimmy Corsetti to get in there and inspect all that junk. Well, not junk, but all that stuff that's at the Smithsonian. So what about this idea? And I don't really think this is scientific, but when they talk about, they say we only use 10% of our brains. Do you think that these past populations, they were able to tap into more of their brain? Is that why they were smarter? Because if you just look at engineering today, we can build big buildings, but you can't even recreate the stone, the stonework that are in buildings in New York that was 50 years ago. So, right. I mean, we're just exponentially getting worse, in my personal opinion. So, well, why is that? Are we just going to get dumber? Are we living in idiocracy? Are we all going to just be sitting on a toilet and watching TV in our apartments for the rest of our lives very soon?
I'm noticing this correlation. It does appear that people are getting dumber and dumber, which is the total opposite of what should be happening. We have this technological capability. We got our smartphones. You would think that would be smarter than ever, yet there seems to be this regression. And you, more than anyone, or understands this woke mentality that seemingly everything is backwards ass. It's I don't know whether we were smarter in ancient times. With 10% of our capacity in our brain, that I don't know. All I know is that it seems that things are regressing. Now, I'm more optimistic than ever now that Trump's back in office and enough people around the world are waking up to the complete lunacy, which you have highlighted by going to these town hall meetings and pretending to be like this woke libtard. And you've highlighted it better than anyone. I don't know, man. I feel like things are probably cyclic, that we go through golden ages of doing great things and then things collapse and it probably just starts all over again. I don't know.
I think you're right. We probably just lose the history and we just don't know. And then I guess we just rebuild it back up through either hundreds of years or thousands of years. So how old is the world if you just had to estimate? What do you age the world at? I know that's hard. It's like asking you, what does the world weigh? Or so, I know it's not, it's hard to answer, but what do you kind of speculate the world and how old it to be?
Great question. Let me just be clear. Like these people that pull hundreds of millions and billions of years, they're kind of pulling it out of their ass. I'm not saying that the Earth isn't billions of years old, but when I look at different scientific studies where they say, oh, this is 100 million years, this is 50 million years, I say, oh, cool. Can you just go ahead and explain to me why you know that it's 50 million years instead of 49 million years? Because 1 million years is an incredibly long period of time. And let me share this with you. Humans in our modern cranial capacity date back a little over 300,000 years. So when we look at things that are millions and millions of years old, that's within the margin of error for even the known existence of humans like Homo sapiens, which are allegedly a little over 2 million years old. So it's like the reality is that we just don't know.
Guys. This is a great movie. A father tells his son the greatest story ever told, and what begins as a bedtime tale becomes a life-changing journey. Through vivid imagination, the boy walks alongside Jesus, witnessing his miracles, facing his trials, and understanding his ultimate sacrifice. The King of Kings invites us to rediscover the enduring power of hope, love, and redemption through the eyes of a child. This film is a high-profile cast of voices to include Oscar Isaac, Pierce Brosnan, Mark Hamill, Kenneth Branagh, Ben Kingsley, Uma Thurman, and Forrest Whitaker, to name just a few. There's also beautiful animation, and it is the perfect film to enjoy with your family this Easter. To watch this film, go to angel.com/Alex. That's angel.com/Alex. Okay.
No, Charles. Like, we think that we're incredibly smart and our scientists know everything, but obviously through COVID and all that nonsense, I would like to think that people could second guess the experts now, that a lot of things they think and say as fact is something that they're regurgitating that was told to them, printed in some textbook, they memorized it, got the A on the exam, got their PhD, and now they're a certified expert in their own minds. People should be humbled to know that there's a lot that we just simply don't know. So I don't know if that answered your question. I'm getting distracted. Sorry, these things keep falling out of my ears. Forgive me.
Jimmy, you made such a good point. Like, we do need to be so much more humble. We think that we know everything. Everybody just thinks that they know everything. We have it all figured out, and that's just the farthest thing from the truth. And that's why I try to, like, I guess, when you talk about me, the woke mind virus, people call me alt-right. I'm really not. I'm more of a populist. I think I'm more a moderate in the middle. But
me too.
I just think things have gotten so crazy that it's almost hard not to just kind of put up a mirror and just show you, like, look how absurd people are acting. We got, kids getting gender reassignment surgery at 12 years old, and, you can't even get a tattoo. Just weird stuff that I would never even have thought would be a possibility when I was a kid. But when it comes to, like, the history of mankind, they'll just tell you that they know everything, and that's what makes me so mad, is that we need to be more humble. So if anybody's watching this, please learn from Jimmy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, to anyone that's second guessing anything we're saying right here, I encourage them to look up the Ramesseum statue that is now in Luxor, Egypt, that I mentioned earlier is 1,000 tons, carved out of one single stone that was moved approximately 170 miles. People need to understand that this is physics defying as far as our known capabilities. Yes, we can do this in modern times, but when you look at the fact that the Egyptians were allegedly using primitive methods to do something that was, 3 times heavier than the largest stone we move today, people need to really be, questioning themselves as an adult to understand that, there really is a missing chapter of human history, that we were doing spectacular things and something happened to get it to be wiped out. And I will say this, you had introduced me earlier as a veteran, and so I volunteered to go to Iraq. I was a young man at the time, and at that time, I could not have believed that my own government would have lied and made something up to get me to go be front lines of a war zone. And it wasn't until the years following that I woke up to realize, like, oh my God, this was like a really big lie. Like 500,000 civilians died in Iraq. Nothing's been corrected by that. So when my mind finally like blew open, when I had this awakening, as I call it, back in 2015, when I realized, like, oh my God, that was a complete and total lie. It's not until people realize and have their own experience to see that things are not as they thought they were. And honestly, whether it's the COVID vaccine and the mandates and all that stuff, I would say that has caused an awakening on Earth as well. That people are finally realizing, like, oh my God, I did not get the COVID vaccine, but other people that did, and they were proud to get it, and now they had all these adverse side effects. Everyone alive right now knows somebody that got screwed over by that vaccine. I know people that were maimed by it.
I know. Listen, and I know a lot of people that got it and totally safe, it's fine, but I know people that got myocarditis and had heart issues. So, and then if you can go back and look at the lot numbers and kind of figure out some stuff, but that's a longer conversation for another day. But because we only have you for a few more minutes, and it's such an honor to have you, Jimmy. I hope you'll come on again when we can have you in the studio. But this is what I want to talk about is, people give me a lot of flack, but I believe in Atlantis. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a history buff of Atlantis, but I believe that there was probably something underwater. I think it's so weird that they tell us that we can only go 8 miles deep in the water, and they say we know more about space in the water. There's something in the water they're not telling us. So what is your opinion on Atlantis, Jimmy?
There's a few things to say on this. So when you say something underwater, that brings me back to that point that 11,600 years ago, there was a sudden rapid rise in global sea levels, which means that we should be searching off the coastline for hundreds of miles. But here's something else. When people will laugh off the legend of Atlantis, but there's a few things they don't realize. One of which is that legend actually originates from the ancient Egyptians. The Egyptians said that they were colonists of a destroyed cataclysm. And here's something that's unbelievably fascinating that ties in with that 11,600 year mark when I talk about the Younger Dryas climate catastrophe, which is that Solon. So we've all heard of Atlantis from Plato. Well, Plato got the legend from his distant relative who was Solon, who was said to be the wisest of the 7 sages. He was a Greek lawman and author. And when he went to Egypt, the Egyptian priest had told him that, so he went there in 2,600 years ago, or 600 BC. The priest in Egypt had said that it had happened exactly 9,000 years earlier. Well, 600 BC or 2,600 years ago minus 9,000 is precisely 11,600 years ago. The precise time of when we have scientific evidence that shows that there was a sudden and rapid rise in global sea levels. Like this is not just some Disney movie or some casino in the Caribbean. Like there's actual scientific evidence that corroborates that this was possible. And then you have this site, I don't know if you're familiar with the Rishat structure in the Western Sahara Desert, which I've been putting on blast as being the most likely location of Atlantis.
Because I was reading that. I read what you posted, yes.
It just so happens to match more than a dozen striking similarities of what Plato had described of Atlantis. And I'd encourage anybody to Google Rishat structure or Eye of the Sahara. It's made up of concentric circles, specifically 3 that would be of water, 2 of land, has an opening to the south, mountains to the north. It was said to be made up of red, black, and white color stones, which matches the Rishat, was said to have an abundance of gold, elephants. And at that same period of time, a lot of people aren't aware that the Sahara Desert was actually a lush green tropical paradise up until approximately 5,000 years ago. People can Google this. This is all scientific studies. It's just that a lot of people don't know. So all the details line up that yes, there would have been humans that would have been wiped out at that period of time, 11,600 years ago. So the topic of Atlantis is not far-fetched. It's actually incredibly reasonable to suggest that humans would have been doing interesting things at that period of time and were wiped out by global events.
I mean, it's pretty deep, and that's why I love the research that you do. So, Jimmy, how did you personally kind of get into all this? I'm guessing that you're religious, and that's why you're looking at older stuff. Or how did you get into it? Because I mean this with all due respect. This is nerdy stuff, right? This is a lot of days. This is not easy stuff to remember. Göbekli Tepe. I tried to explain to my dad about Göbekli Tepe. He's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" What I'm saying? This is to the layman, to the normal person. This stuff is very confusing. It's confusing to me. It's confusing to most people that look into it.
So how I got into it is that back in 2015, I went back to school to get my master's of business administration, thinking that it would give me this 6-figure job and give me the life that I wanted. And then in the middle of that program, I had this, I called it a spiritual awakening. I basically saw my life and realized that I was on a path of misery, that I had a bunch of friends that were very well off, but they all seemed to be a little bit miserable in their 9-to-5 jobs. And they were working like 60 hours a week. And even though they were making excellent money, they weren't too happy. And I started to see, I'm like, oh my God, this is me. So I graduated and then I was applying at a bunch of places. Nothing was materializing. And I was basically thinking to myself that maybe I should just go back to school and become a school teacher. But I'm like, I have student loan debt. I can't afford a teacher's salary. So long story short, I heard that people were making money on YouTube and I started dabbling around on there. And, I started making videos on the mysteries of lost ancient civilizations and it kind of took off. And here I am. I feel like it was all kind of just meant to be, but I never would have imagined it would have taken to me where I am now.
Well, I actually would not be surprised, Jimmy, because the way that you talk about these crazy things, I don't know how else to call it, and you say it in such a professional manner, and it's so good, and like I'm just saying, you take these things that a normal person can't understand, and you make it so clear and so easily understandable. So that's why I think that you would be talented if you're trying to do any sort of content, but especially when it comes to ancient civilizations. You really are the premier guy, and that's why people like Joe, that's why you're friends with Graham Hancock, that's why you associate with such successible people. So
that means a lot to you.
But to you though, when it comes to like the lies of the current not administration, but like the government, what is, in your opinion though, what is the biggest lie that they're lying about, Jimmy? Like if you could say one thing, you could send a text message to every human being. I mean, they're obviously going to ignore it, but you know what I mean? Like, what is the one thing that you would like to expose or I guess instill on not just your audience, but people that have no idea who you are?
Well, let me give you 2 answers. One of which is that I'm telling you, people, as a grown adult, look into the mysteries of the ancients. Anyone with a level-headed mindset can see that something incredible was happening on Earth several thousand years ago. And the implications of that are incredible, because if something so spectacular was happening, that means that our civilization could be reset. Like if the power grid went down, guys, it'd be game over. Like our city water pumps. If the internet
went down, Jimmy, forget the power. Yeah. If the internet went down, people would go crazy.
It would be Mad Max. But the second answer, and this is totally unrelated to ancient history, if I had to share one thing with people, is that they need to research the fiat money system, that it's fake, and that we're paying interest on something that doesn't exist in the first place. And now that we're seeing, like, whether it's the talk about removing income tax or removal of the Fed, like this might be one of the most important things to happen on Earth, because people could buy a house and then pay 3 times as much as it is, because of interest, all on something that doesn't exist. We're paying way too much in taxes. And so, yeah, the fiat money system has enslaved us, and that's counter to the things that I really discuss. But it's a problem. Like we're paying a tax on everything, interest on everything, and it's not, where's it going? Like seriously, Jimmy, where's it going?
Jimmy, you're exactly right. People in their 30s used to be able to have a home. You can't even buy a home in your 30s. People are lucky in their 40s and 50s if they can buy a home today. And really, nothing's changed other than inflation has weakened our dollar. So it's just, and this is what's happening on the house that I currently live in. In the past 10 years, my taxes have been exponentially increasing. So it's like, how is this happening? But it's just all fake. People really need to look into the fiat currency.
It's very fake.
Jimmy, we just want to do a short, quick interview because I've been running late and I'm so sorry, but I'd really like to sit down and talk to you for a longer time. So what do you have coming up? And I know I'm going to put the links to all of your stuff, but how can people find you and support you? And what do you have coming up in the near future, Jimmy?
Coming up, there's going to be more stuff coming out about Göbekli Tepe and things happening in Turkey. Like, I cannot begin to tell you the archaeological corruption and mismanagement that's happened there at arguably the world's oldest and most mysterious site on Earth. And there's other sites around the world, too, that are not being properly excavated or being excavated at all that stand to answer questions about our lost ancient past. If people want to find me, I'm on here on Twitter or on X, Bright Insight 6 or Jimmy Corsetti. I'm on YouTube. My channel's called Bright Insight. You can also follow me on Instagram, but it's lame. Instagram sucks, being throttled on there. Mark Zuckerberg has not made good on what he promised. Like that guy, never mind that. I won't complain.
No, but real quick, wait, your Instagram, mine has hardly been growing, and I used to pop off, but in the past 2 years, it's just they've got like I don't want to say shadow ban, but I actually got it banned. It actually said that my account can't be recommended. Now that's lifted, but but they're so punitive on Instagram. It's really and I like looking at it, but it's a terrible social media network.
Yeah. It's same thing for me. It's like impossible to grow. I used to grow by hundreds or thousands a day, and now it's like I can't grow 100 in a month. But I don't want to complain because screw Instagram, and honestly, X is awesome. Like X is the new public square. It's growing. I do believe it's the future. I believe that X will be, it already is the king of the media, but this is just the infancy stage of it. But I'm also on Rumble, Bright Insight, so people can follow me there. I'm grateful for your time, and I know how rushed you are, and we should definitely do it again. There's tons to chat about. And bro, let me actually say one more thing to you.
Yes.
It is you that brought attention to my family of what happened to my grandfather when he was locked in that hospital when they gave him. I know what they did to your mother.
They killed my mom. Yeah, they killed my mom.
They killed my grandfather.
Your uncle? Did you say it happened to your grandfather?
No, my grandfather. But because he was 99 years old, nobody cares. They all assume that he was on his way out anyways. He wasn't. He was healthy. They gave him so this is fucked up. Can I swear? I don't know if I should even share this because I don't want to upset certain people in my family, but he tried to leave the hospital. He started pulling the cords and stuff out of his veins, and they restrained him and then gave him a shot of, and it killed him instantly. He was a vegetable by the next day, and then he died the day after that. And we're like, my father and I have become aware because of you mentioning like, isn't like 30% of the people they gave that to like died? Forgive me if I'm messing up the number, but
it's ridiculous. I think it was more than 30%. No, I was so bad. I tried to get my mom out of the hospital.
I know.
They tied her arm to the bed and kicked me out one of the days. They let me come back. Yeah,
That's
she tried to. So she couldn't. She had one arm, so she couldn't pull the other stuff with her other arm. It was just so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous, Jimmy. And I'm so sorry about your grandfather. And lived 99 years. This is one good thing about all this. My mom was young, unfortunately, 59, but you're going to live a long time. That's good genetics. The fact that 99 years, I mean, your grandfather did not deserve to go out like that. He lived such a long life. That is the worst way to go out.
But he was healthy, man. People say 99, they blow it off like, no, you don't get it. Like, he was healthy. But because of you, now we know what happened. And I don't know if you understand the extent of people that you informed with that. And there will be a reckoning. Sooner or later, there will be a reckoning for that. And you have done a service that I don't believe many people can possibly comprehend. So thank you for that, brother.
Well, I really, really appreciate that, Jimmy. I had no idea that I even had that effect. But this is the one thing. It's funny because you say the reckoning, you say revenge, and I look at my mom, and I'm so mad at these doctors. But I don't even really want revenge. I don't even want Dr. Fauci to go to jail, even though I hate Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
I just and I'm not saying this to virtue signal. I mean this. I just don't want this to happen again. That's all I really want. I hope that my mom didn't die in vain. That's the only. I don't really want these people. Even the doctors that were so terrible. I don't even wish ill will on them, even though I hate them. I mean, I wouldn't help them, but I don't want them to die. I don't want anything bad to happen. I just hope that when they do this again, because they are going to do it again, because SARS happened before 2019, 2018. We've had MERS, Middle East. We've had respiratory illnesses. We've had pneumonia before. This is not a new thing for humans to have pneumonia, but it was the procedures and protocols that they put in place to make this as terrible as possible so that they can have mail-in ballots and do this. And I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to this, and sadly, a lot of Americans had to die. But this is all you have to know when it comes to COVID. Nigeria had a lower mortality rate than America. So if you trust our healthcare system, you'd be better off in Nigeria with COVID than you would in America. So,
hey, I was in Egypt in December of 2020. They were not doing any type of protective methods. They did not mandate masks because it's actually against their constitution to order anyone to wear anything because it has to do with the head garb for women and stuff. And let me just say this. Cairo is one of the most densely populated metropolitan areas on Earth. There's an estimated 21 to 24 million people there. And what I witnessed with my own eyes was 99 out of 100 people not wearing any mask, not doing anything. And to people who haven't been to Cairo, they don't understand on how densely populated it is. There's people everywhere and everything was fine.
You're right. All right, Jimmy, man. Everybody go follow Jimmy Corsetti. You've seen him on the Joe Rogan show. He's super famous, super popular, super smart. No, I mean that, Jimmy. You're a brilliant guy. And I want to talk to you again later, under better circumstances when I'm not, like a chicken with my head cut off. But, Jimmy, thank you for making time. You're the man. Everybody go follow Jimmy. Thank you again. Peace.
Thanks, brother.
Now that Jimmy is a crazy guy, right? But he's a smart fellow. That's why Joe Rogan has him on. That's why these other people hate on him so much. When you get a lot of hate, it means because you're hitting right on target, and they are hiding something. These Egyptians had freaking energy or something. You think slaves built the damn freaking pyramids? You could barely get them to pick cotton. Give me a break, okay? So that's just not, I mean, more likely aliens did it or giants. But Jimmy is a great guy, and we love Jimmy for exposing the real truth of our ancient history that they are hiding. You know, the Romans, they got a damn library that's long, 10 miles long, full of books, and they don't let us read any of those. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't know that they are hiding, and Jimmy is exposing a lot of that. Now, our next guest, Howling Mutant. You might not follow him on Twitter. You should. This guy is kind of one of the OG online Twitter trolls. He has an unfiltered approach when it comes to just saying his opinion. He says it. He talks a lot of smack on Twitter, gets in a lot of Twitter fights, and he does it anonymously. But I think he has been doxxed. We get into all that in this great interview. So, guys, check it out. We're sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend, Howling Mutant.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Primetime with Alex Stein. I am your host, Alejandro Stein, and we have an incredible guest with us today, the one, the only Howling Mutant. You've seen him on Twitter. He's had about 10 different accounts. He's one of the most vicious trolls on the entire platform. So, Howling Mutant, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me on. It's an honor to be on.
Well, you know, I was listening to one of your recent podcasts, and you were talking about how you've had like 10 different usernames. And, you know, that's why you'd have probably hundreds of thousands of followers if you didn't have your accounts deleted. So is Elon Musk really giving us free speech? Because you saw how he deleted a lot of those people that were calling him out. He kind of censored Laura Loomer a little bit, but I'm not complaining. But,
I think he is, like, for the most part, like, he's like 75%. You know, he did a few things like that. Like, he like censored some Groyper accounts, I think, and he has like taken away people's verification, which I don't like, because if they say something too weird. But like, I think people also forget what it used to be like, how quick you would be banned and there'd be no appeal or anything. It was it, you know. And you would email them and they just say no, and then you couldn't even email them again. Like that. That was it. So it's like, oh, I guess I'll make a 9th account now, you know.
Yeah, it's so much better though, because now we can actually, if you get hacked, you can actually try to get your account back. So it is much better with Elon, but I still think it's weird. Like, what do you think that he wants to hook a computer to your brain so you can park a Tesla? Does that scare you, or does that get you excited?
I'm into it. I'm ready for the whole transhumanist thing. Who's the guy who's like injecting his son's blood?
That guy that wants to live forever, Brian Johnson.
Yeah. I never wanted children. I want a child now, just so I can have like a blood bag walking around for when I get elderly, you know.
Well, really, you just need a bunch of money, because all those Silicon Valley guys have blood boys.
Well, I don't have money, so I'm just gonna get a bunch of kids, and then I'll have it on tap, kind of, you know.
That actually would be a good way of going about it. Honestly, you just have it right there. Because if my dad needed some blood, I would not have the gall to be like, no, you can't have blood. I mean, if my dad wanted,
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, can't say no.
It's not like a kidney or something. It's just blood. It'll grow back, or it comes back, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it regenerates.
I think it refills.
Well, I mean, I remember back when I was really bad, strung out on methamphetamines and fentanyl, that I was donating too much plasma. I was donating plasma with a fake social security number. And I got
God. Imagine the people who got that fucking plasma. They must have been like wired through the fucking
They were doing really good. They were having a good day. Hey, listen, that plasma had a little extra kick in it. I was
like, hey, can I get some more of that fucking plasma you gave me last week?
That's what I'm saying. Well, a lot of the people that actually donate blood and plasma are hooked on drugs. So,
I mean, that's like the classic stereotype of the guy on Skid Row selling his blood for, enough to get a pint of whiskey or something, you know.
But that's a real thing, right? I mean, there are people that do that. I mean, is that far off in today's modern world?
No.
Well, Howling Mutant. So tell me this, when it comes to, like, you calling out people, but don't you kind of hate it though? Like, I'm considered a troll myself, and really I'm kind of sick of trolling a little bit. Like, I do want to, push people's buttons. Don't get me wrong. I actually enjoy it. I like to see the people's reaction, but do you ever feel like you're kind of in a negative vibrational?
Yeah. I definitely do, actually. And I'll have people like DM me and they're like, oh, you got to get this person. And it's just like a girl who's kind of overweight, and I'm like, I don't want to. What do you want me to say to this person? Like, just be mean, if I'm attacking someone, I like to at least think they deserve it in some way. But yeah, it gets kind of like you start feeling like you got to be the guy who just attacks people. So whenever I feel like that, I just take a break from it.
Yeah, because you know how I feel sometimes. I've been tweeting a lot. And
I mean,
really,
you've got to have it worse. You're the guy who like runs up in people's faces. At least I hide behind a fucking keyboard. You know what I mean? Like,
true. You are Anon. You got it good.
Yeah, I can always retreat and disappear and not fucking think about it.
Yeah, that is true. I really can't retreat too much. But but the thing is, like, I've been attacked online, so like attacking people, it is easy though. Like you can, because you have followers, you can retweet something, say something, and then your followers kind of get after them. And it only takes about 20 messages to really feel the pain or whatever you want to call it, the emotional stress of getting targeted online, I guess. But I just had this video. It's up to 7 million on X or Twitter. And now it got shared it's getting a lot of support, but then now it's gotten on Reddit or something. So a lot of the latest quote tweets are like all about murder, dead. I mean, it's still a lot of positivity.
Well, yeah, you can watch it shift. So you're like, okay, this must have wound up somewhere else. Because all of a sudden these comments went from being, oh, that's so funny, to like, you're a scumbag. And like people are like DMing you, telling you they're going to rape you or something.
That's what I'm getting. I want to get raped. I want to get all this stuff here. I mean, I'll pull it up. But why is that?
What did you say?
Well, no. So the video, if I can do a share screen. So the video was just me at a protest for immigration. So it was an immigration protest.
No, I didn't see that one.
Well, it's let me see if it's going to let me log into Twitter. Hold on. I'm logged into my damn. Okay, yeah, here we go. So let me go to Alex Stein 99. We're in my office right now. It's not as good as my home studio, but Howling Mutant, thank you so much for being here. Okay, now let me see if it'll let me share this. Present, share screen. This, share audio. Okay, share. Okay. Crap. Oh, I shared the wrong one. Hold on. Dang it. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Probably should have already had this pulled up. Okay. Share. Sorry. Now let me show you the video. I'd like to get your honest opinion as a troll. This video is, if you can, and if you can see the video, so you can see that, right?
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So 7.1 million.
Oh, the big booty Latina callback.
Yes, of course. It's my only joke, dude. So look at the quote tweets recently. Oh crap! I gotta go to view interaction.
By the way, she has like the flattest ass imaginable.
She looks good that day.
All the Latinas you could have picked to say that to, she's like the worst one.
But everybody just loved it. But see, this doesn't put them in numerical order. So, like it's not going to be as, I'd rather be deported than sleep with a white man, big booty, Latinas get to say. So this is a lot of, I can't wait for subhuman whites like this to be killed in math. Alex Stein's hilarious, big booty Latinas. Like if you support, see a lot of it's positive, but black people are right. You white people are shit in the world. But like if you look at it on your phone, you can see it in numerical order, chronological order. I hope everyone that finds this shit funny rots in hell, the most unfunny racist shit, and then just sexually harassing a woman. Okay, so you haven't even seen the video. Let's watch the video and then you can give your
Latinas can stay. Protect big booty Latinas.
Man, what's up? Don't come over here disrespecting our women.
Well, I'm trying to protect them. I
Can
don't
you
want
hear
them to
that?
get deported.
Yeah.
Fucking racist.
Okay,
Big
good.
booty Latinas can stay. Protect big booty Latinas.
Man, what's up with that?
I like
Don't
you
come
always
over
put
here
the accent
disrespecting our
on the
women.
Latina.
Well, I'm trying to protect them. I don't want them to get deported.
That's what I try to do.
How is that racist?
When
I
I
want
say
big booty Latinas
Latina, but it sounds so much
protected.
better.
I'm
when
on
you
your
say it
side.
like
Dude,
that.
what are you doing?
I am in Dallas. I was born and raised in Dallas. So I've been around. Yeah, a lot of Latino.
Fucking push me.
Hey, I'm not
Don't
touching you.
fucking
I'm trying to protect you. No, the fuck you're not. Yes, I am. You're a big booty Latina.
Hey, you say
I
that
want
one
to
more
protect
time.
you.
If he says that one
What
more
I
time.
say, big booty Latina. What are you gonna do? Big booty Latina.
One more time.
Big booty
Say
Latina.
that one more time.
Big booty
Such a square up to him right there.
Big booty Latinas get to stay.
Just go to the back right now. Hey, just go to the back right now. I'll show you how much of a coward I am.
Oh, I'm real scared. I'm real scared. Protect her. I want to protect
It's funny
all
because he's
big
so
booty
short,
Latinas.
too.
She's a 9.
I know.
She's fine.
Are you
Protect
like
big
super
booty
tall?
Latinas.
I mean, I am
Calling
tall.
me out,
I'm
but
like
he won't
almost
go to the back
6'4".
with me.
Really, I'm
I'm
basically
not gonna
like-
wrestle with 2 twinks and
Yeah,
some
I'm not
fat
like
neck
so
again.
short.
Just
But yeah, so this
back,
is
get in the back.
There's a taco
Yeah,
truck right there,
really
baby.
viral
You want
on
to
that.
protect big booty Latinas.
And that's
They're
just like
all
the
tall.
shortest version
Big
of it.
booty
It did pretty well
Latinas.
on
Big booty
YouTube, but
Latinas
it's
are
already
welcome to stay. Not
300,000
big booty
in one day, which
Latinas.
is really good
His
for me on
ass,
YouTube.
he's got to
YouTube
go.
does not want to push my stuff. So yeah, so what do you think about that? Does that deserve for people to call for me to be murdered and white people to be murdered in mass?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Actually, I think that's a proportionate response.
I mean, they're not wrong. I am saying big booty Latina, but I'm saying it in a nice way.
Yeah,
I like
it's like an irreverent way. Like we need them. You're not saying I don't like big booty Latinas. And by the way, do big booty Latinas really need defending? Like I think we all like big booty Latinas, right?
That's
like,
true. They need protecting. And a big booty Latina, they're not going to hit you. I mean, unless you like cheat on them or you cause them.
They will definitely hit you, but okay.
Yeah. But they're not going to be violent to they're not going to probably rob and steal. But they're using coupons. Yeah. They're great. There's so many good. They're good at cleaning. They're good at cooking.
Yeah, we're here to honor the big booty Latina, not denigrate them.
I would like to put them on a pedestal, but yeah. So I'm getting a lot of hate. So this is my example. Give me an example of a time where even though
I can tell you immediately, I know the worst that ever happened is when I said something about Taylor Swift, and the
Swifties came after you.
Yeah, way worse than when Black Twitter got mad at me or like
Black Twitter's good. I like when Black Twitter finds you. You were talking about earlier. I like when Black Twitter finds it.
They're kind of funny with it, at least, like the Swifties, but like just like I got a lot of rape threats from them. That was the weird thing, and it's like you're a girl, like well. But I said what I said. Do you remember when that thing came out with her with the AI generated porn?
Yeah, I remember it clearly. I remember.
And it's not. It was like realistic. It was like a fucking cartoon. So it's not like anybody thought that was actually her fucking the Kansas City Chiefs or something. You know, like, oh, is this real? Like, no. So I said it's so much hotter because she doesn't want it out there. That's
I
it.
remember. I saw this tweet. Yeah, you got really canceled.
And I didn't even think that was gonna. I was like, haha, whatever. And then I keep getting
because they said you raped her. They said that's a form of rape.
They call me a rapist, and then we're saying they're gonna rape me. I'm like, well, doesn't it make you a rapist as well? I mean, are you any better then? Like, people are saying we're gonna dox you, and I'm like, well, do you have my information? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, what is it? And they're like, you'll see. I'm like, okay, so you don't have my information. We're gonna get you fired.
Do you have to work hard not to get doxxed? Because in this day and age, that's why I'm just putting myself out there because I feel like, and I haven't tried to dox you at all. I have no idea, but I'm saying, I just feel like, I feel like we could be, you can't hide in this digital era.
I'm waiting for it to happen. I thought it would have happened by now. I know I've had people like fishing around and stuff, but it hasn't happened yet. But eventually it will. I'm too dumb to like shut up about stuff I shouldn't say. I say like where I work and stuff like that. Like I don't even think about it. And like a day later, I'm like, well, that was really fucking dumb,
Yeah, you might not want to because these people are like autistic and psychotic, and they'll.
When people threaten me, I'll give them my full name and address in the DM and say, okay, do it, And they never do it, but maybe it's not the smartest thing to do. I'm trying to be. I give my name. Well, I gave the address, and the guy's like, well, what's your name? I'm like, you want my name? Do I have to give you?
Wait, you're telling me you've really given your address, or what? Are you joking right now? Are you trolling me?
No, I'll give him the address.
Wow, so you want the smoke? Are you packing heat?
No, I don't. I can't fucking fight, but I know they're not going to show up. Who's going to show up to do something over the internet?
Well, I agree because like a lot of the comments are like, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you." And I'm like, come on, this person. I mean, somebody might kill me, but it's not going to be this person.
Like, would you go and like you're going to drive 3 hours to this guy's house and fight him because something he said made you mad? I mean, it has happened. I guess there's like a 10% chance someone might actually kill me every time I do that. But it's like playing Russian roulette, and it's kind of like a thrill, I guess. It's like see if this guy actually shows up. But so far, nobody showed up.
Well, and say what you want about Nick Fuentes. He really did have that guy go to his house and try to kill him. Like that.
Yeah, that was insane.
But Nick's a lot crazy. I mean, he's
but Nick is like a public figure, though. Like Nick is like a leader of a political movement. Who the fuck wants to kill Howling Mutant? Like, what fucking cares? You know, just block me or something. But
that is true. That is true. And so, what do you think's the deal though with Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce? I don't know if you're into sports, but they're saying that now.
I'm a big sports guy. I'm a sports nut.
Are you really? Are you trolling?
Yeah. I love football the most. I think is my favorite sport.
Do you think it's rigged?
Yeah, of course, it's all rigged.
Well, I know, and I actually bet on the Eagles and won, surprisingly. And I bet last year on the Chiefs when that was like the Taylor Swift, Kansas City 13. The Super Bowl was like the 49ers 4 + 9 = 13, and then it's her favorite number, and all these other weird coincidence.
That was your thought process.
You were
going on Taylor Swift's lucky numbers, like the gayest thing I ever heard. But
I know, but
it worked.
It's numerology. Have you ever looked into gematria or numerology? Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of it. I'm not too familiar with it. No.
Well, so like this is why there's a lot of symbols of 13. So 100 minus 87, which is Travis Kelce's number, which is 13.
That's 13.
It was Super Bowl 49, I think. It was Super Bowl. There's a bunch of weird stuff for 13. So I was like, I'll just bet on the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't know. So are you not into conspiracies? I'm kind of deep into conspiracies. Like
no. I mean, are they even conspiracies? Like they've all turned out to be true.
Well, you know what I'm starting to
think? All the major
of?
ones, anyway, except for maybe the moon landing one. Maybe I don't know if they proved that one yet.
Well, I'm a moon landing denier, but when it comes to conspiracies, I'm starting to think more and more it's like a simulation, and that's why these numbers show up and stuff, because it's like just computers talking or joking. I don't know. Like, do you think that? Like, what do you think? Do you believe that when we die, we go to heaven? I think a God created this, but like maybe in God's world, it's a simulation. I don't know. Like, what do you think everything is?
I don't know. I was raised Catholic. Like my family's all from Ireland and they're very Catholic and stuff. But it's like, who fucking knows? I mean, when I don't feel like a connection to anything, but I would assume that like something kicked it off, right? And I'd like to think you go somewhere, but
you would think, right? Like somebody had to press play somewhere. Yeah. Start on this video game of life or whatever you want to call it, but it is really weird. And now we just spend our time on the internet arguing with strangers. So it's I don't know. Do you think we're ever going to disconnect? Like it's only going to get more dystopian.
No, we can't disconnect now. Like even when you think back to before the internet was really this omnipresent thing, it seems like weird. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's right. We weren't online all the time as kids and everything, or at least I wasn't. But no, there's no going back.
Howling Mutant, what a fellow. He's a wild guy, to say the least. Everybody go follow him on Twitter. So that interview was a little too spicy. You know that. So that was a condensed version. You guys kind of saw the direction of some of the topics we were discussing. And unfortunately, we can't put that all on YouTube, so we have to put that behind a paywall. So if you guys want to see it, go to blazetv.com/primetime, and you get to try it for 99 cents. That's right, 99 cents to join today. Please use the promo code PRIMETIME99. I would really appreciate it. That would help me a lot. It would help the show a lot. So if you like this show, if you like the Pimp on a Blimp, if you want to support me, and I mean this, please consider going to blazetv.com/primetime and using code PRIMETIME99 for your 99-cent membership to all of your uncensored Alex Stein content. Do me a favor, go do that, because you are a fellow pimp on a blimp. And you know what does a pimp need? A pimp needs money, honey, so pay the pimp. Pay me, I need it. We got to keep this freaking thing green lit. Got to keep the blimp afloat. You know how it goes. All right, guys, that's been our show. You know how we do it. We end the show every time with freestyle finale. But before we do that, I just want to say a little closing statement to you guys. A lot of big things are coming up. April 27th, we have the official Chat Rat meetup in Las Vegas. I want you guys all there. Come on down. We're staying at the Rio Hotel, so you guys are going to be able to dance, prance, gamble, win money, hopefully not lose any money. But I'm also trying to organize a union of the top chat rats, because I believe what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to take everybody out to a buffet or some sort of dining experience where we can all eat together. So we will see only the most loyal and deserving chat rats. All of you are loyal and deserving, to be honest, but we just got to figure out how many people are actually going to go. And we're going to make that happen in Las Vegas. So if you guys want to meet me, you guys want to hang out with me, You want to see Morgan, the top rat queen? I know a lot of you guys do because you've been modded out by her and you probably have some sort of weird fetish because of that, some humiliation fetish or control fetish, but it's not a sexual trip. I'm just saying, you're a freak. Freaks are allowed. All right, and then also, I'm at University of Connecticut tomorrow. That's right, UConn. I'll be on campus. If you guys want to come hang out, I'll be there at 11 a.m. debating any libtards that want some of this smoke. So please come on down to Storrs, Connecticut. That's right, the University of Connecticut, the UConn Huskies. They just won the damn NCAA Women's Championship. Even though it's women's, it still counts, believe it or not. And they got a great player, Paige Buchers, who is white, that did not get as much attention as Caitlin Clark. So we're going to probably talk to Paige while we're on campus tomorrow. So if you guys want to see that exclusive interview, make sure to tune in. I can't even speak, sorry. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night and see me on campus at UConn. I'll be going live at a time that is undisclosed. So you need to be watching me, constantly watching me and seeing what I'm doing to figure that out. All right, guys, that's our show. It's been a great show. Thank you to Howling Mutant. Thank you to Jimmy Corsetti. And thank you to all of the paid anti-Elon Musk protesters that helped me get another viral video. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And let's end the show how we do it every time. That freestyle finale. DJ, hit that beat. Yo, I'm in UConn. And I'm like King Kong. And I dunk the ball. You can call me Paul. Yes, it is women's basketball, but it still counts. When you score a bucket, it's still 2 points. I don't know why. These bitches need to try to play prime time one-on-one. I'll always win because I bring a gun. I shoot you in the head until you're dead. And I leave the court all red. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Hit that like button while you eat that shrimp. I love you guys. Peace.